What's the secret tool of a director? Wireless monitor. Do not underestimate this. Nowadays, we have a modern way to do wireless transmission. Before, we used to have a video village, had to ran cables, and a lot of people crammed together to just check one image to see if it needs adjustments or not. And also sometimes the walkie-talkies don't work perfect, so it takes a lot of time for department heads to execute their adjustments. Now, with medium and small size projects, especially young directors like to be at the front line with the actors and cinematographer. It's way more efficient to do adjustments like that, and it is also more precise because you can see a lot of elements that might put an influence on the acting, camera movement, and storytelling. Like that, we can fine-tune very quickly. And to be able to do that, we need a very reliable but also lightweight wireless transmission solution. Today I'm going to show you guys a very interesting new wireless transmission solution. It has some secret features hidden inside and could maybe save you from a situation similarly shown in the intro video. For me, the biggest selling point is it is minimalistic. You don't need too much accessories to attach it. So for example, if you have a Sony A7 before, you want a monitor on top and a wireless transmitter, it's very annoying to attach everything on there. Now it's all unified in one piece. Therefore, it's very suitable for small-sized film crews. And beside that, it can also record internally onto a micro SD card. This is very handy, so you can give it to a person on set who is in charge in social media and can take this SD card and can quickly edit some BTS content on his phone or tablet. But we do need to test more to see if it's a good setup, especially because we already have a pretty good one, which consists out of the field-wall monitor and Vaxis wireless transmitter or receiver by the ATOM 500 series. So, los geht's. Pairing. If you have two of those, one at the camera as a onboard monitor and also transmitter, and then for the director you have one monitor that also contains this receiver. The pairing process is pretty easy. When you want to have additional people joining in though with, for example, phones or tablet, then in comparison to the previous ATOM series, this one takes just a little bit more time to get to the menu where you can see the QR code to scan. Before we go to a film set, we often print those QR codes out and label them, so on set if someone needs it to access it, it's pretty easy. Ports. This one has a very good selection of those. We have HDMI in and out, so it's a great loop system. You can still attach additional accessories on it. Then you also have a headphone jack, so you could monitor the audio a little bit. Then there's also DC in, DC out, a color screw mounting point, USB Type-C, and also a micro SD card. This one I will show you guys later why it is so useful. Unfortunately, SDI is not included in here yet. Power. Besides the DC in, you can also use two MP batteries. The great thing about this one is because you have two, you can do hot swaps, meaning when one battery dies, you can change it out without having the monitor to go black. This is great for an uninterrupted shooting experience. And you could also consider to get two larger ones because then this one will pretty much hold for an entire day shoot. Internal recording. This is a cool new feature. So you can see on the lower right there is a record button, and then you could theoretically record the footage onto this little micro SD card. Now, great thing is you can also watch your playback, but if you want to check out a previous shot, it doesn't somehow react properly. You have to like select again and then back and forth, and now it reacts. When trying to select the playhead and moving it forward or backwards a little bit, it's also not the smoothest experience. Colors. Color-wise, I would say this one is pretty okay. Besides that, you can also load in some LUTs if needed. This is very important because for a director, you do want to have a good experience while watching on a wireless monitor, like with accurate colors, because that makes you be able to judge certain shots better and to say good take or redo. Brightness. So this display brightness is not the brightest but also not the darkest. This one's, I would say, fairly good in the middle. You have about 1000 nits. About the range, I would say it's fairly good, pretty solid, just like the ATOM series before. Why I mentioned before that this one is more suitable for small and medium-sized projects is because in those projects you don't do too many focus pull style of shooting. This setup is not the best to pull focus from because it has a slight delay when you look at the wireless transmission, especially in comparison to those systems which are over $1,000 US. If you use the Vaxis 500 series, you can use one as a transmitter, one as a receiver. Beside that, you can also have another 3 tablets or phones as additional monitors. But if you purchase the A5 version, you would have to have one A5 as a transmitter and 1 or 2 A5s as a receiver. And then you can only add 1 additional phone or tablet as a receiver, which is a pity. The on-off switch. Unfortunately, this one is a soft switch, not a hard switch, which means when you put in a battery, it won't automatically turn on. This results in more steps and is a bit annoying because you do want to decrease also a lot of the troubleshooting areas. About the fan, before with the Atom series, you could hear them, but you could also turn them off. But then they also do get hot, although they never crashed on our set. For this one, I don't really hear fan noise at all, and yeah, let's see. I'm very curious, and it might take a bit more time to really figure out if this one is very solid, but till now it looks good. Antennas. So in comparison to before, these ones have antennas that are visible. The other ones are not visible, which is great because if you hit it somewhere accidentally, it won't break that easy. But these type of antennas, with our past experience, do break easy, and you do have to exchange them from time to time. So that means if you buy such a unit, definitely do get some spare parts of antennas with you. So yeah, generally speaking, I really like this setup. You can already see because we have 3 of them inside our case. And it also helps me a lot in the communication with the client. With such a unit, you can very precisely tell them where the problems are or where we need to adjust. This makes you also way more professional. So what do you guys think about it? Do you want to get this secret tool? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down too. And don't forget, if you want to see more awesome content like this, do consider to subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you next time. 再见.